Have you ever wondered what life was like for Queen Victoria before she wore the crown? Let's take a journey back to the year 1819, when a baby girl was born to Prince Edward, Duke of Kent, and Princess Victoria of Saxe-Coburg-Saalfeld. This little girl, fifth in line to the throne, was none other than our Queen Victoria. Her early life was far from ordinary. Raised under the stern and restrictive Kensington system, her every move was monitored and her companions chosen for her. This was a childhood marked by discipline, isolation, and a constant awareness of her royal future. Despite these constraints, the young Victoria was a bright and curious child, ever eager to learn. Through the trials and tribulations of her early years, she held on to the knowledge that she was born to rule. And rule she did, but that's a story for another time. For now, remember this: Queen Victoria, even as a child, was ever aware of her royal destiny. Imagine being a teenager and finding out you're the Queen of England. Picture this: Victoria, at the tender age of 18, was awakened from her sleep and informed of her ascension to the throne following the death of her uncle, King William IV. The young Victoria, suddenly the Queen of England, found herself thrust into a role she had been groomed for, yet was barely prepared to undertake. Her coronation, a grand affair, took place on June 28, 1838, a little over a year after she became queen. The early years of her reign were marked by a youthful energy and a determination to be a good queen. She was keen on understanding the intricate workings of the government and took an active role in her duties. Her political power was significant, and she used it to influence domestic and foreign policies. Queen Victoria, even as a young queen, demonstrated a firm hand and a clear vision for her kingdom. Being a queen is no easy task, especially during a time of great change. In the heart of the 19th century, Queen Victoria found herself at the helm of an empire on the brink of an era like none other. The British Empire, under her reign, was expanding its horizons, reaching out to the far corners of the globe. This was a period of unprecedented territorial growth, as the sun truly never set on the British Empire. From the bustling markets of India to the vast plains of Africa, the influence of Queen Victoria's rule was felt across continents. Parallel to this territorial expansion, Britain was also undergoing a transformation within its own borders. The Industrial Revolution was in full swing, revolutionizing the way people lived and worked. It was a time of steam engines, factories, and a rapidly evolving urban landscape. Queen Victoria's reign bore witness to these sweeping changes, as the face of Britain was being redrawn by the hands of industry and innovation. But Queen Victoria's reign was not just about empire building and industrial advancement. It was also a period of political evolution. Under her watchful eye, the monarchy's role shifted, laying the groundwork for the constitutional monarchy that Britain is known for today. Queen Victoria worked closely with her prime ministers, shaping the monarchy into a more symbolic role and ushering in an era of parliamentary democracy. Her reign, spanning over 6 decades, became so intertwined with the identity of the era that it took on her name, the Victorian era. It was an era defined by significant social, cultural, and technological changes, with Queen Victoria at its center, steering the ship through the tumultuous waters of change. In many ways, Queen Victoria's reign was a mirror reflection of the 19th century, a time of growth, transformation, and progress. It was a reign that left an indelible mark on the pages of history, shaping not just Britain, but the world at large. Queen Victoria's reign was marked by growth, change, and a lasting impact on Britain and the world. All reigns must come to an end, and Queen Victoria's was no exception. As she entered her later years, the flame of Queen Victoria's vitality began to flicker. The once sprightly monarch became increasingly withdrawn, her health deteriorating with the weight of her years and the sorrow of losing her beloved Albert. In the early winter of 1901, aged 81, Queen Victoria breathed her last. The nation plunged into deep mourning, as the loss of their long-reigning monarch was felt keenly across the United Kingdom. The bells tolled, flags flew at half-mast, and an air of somber reflection swept across the nation. Her death marked the end of the Victorian era, a period of significant social, political, and industrial change. The world had been profoundly shaped by her reign, and her absence was a stark reminder of the passing of a remarkable period. With her passing, Queen Victoria left a void that marked the end of an era. Queen Victoria may be gone, but her legacy is far from forgotten. This formidable queen, the longest reigning monarch of her time, left an indelible mark on British culture, politics and indeed, the world. Her reign, often referred to as the Victorian era, was a time of immense change and progress, and her influence continues to resonate today. Queen Victoria's reign saw Britain transform into the world's leading industrial and imperial power. The country's railway networks expanded, cities grew, and innovations in science and technology flourished. This period of intense development and growth is synonymous with Victoria's name, and her reign embodies the spirit of the age. In the realm of politics, Victoria's influence was equally profound. Her strong-willed nature and steadfast belief in constitutional monarchy defined her reign. She became a symbol of stability and continuity, qualities that were greatly admired and valued in a time of rapid change. Her belief in duty, morality and hard work, often referred to as the Victorian values, shaped the nation's ethos and continue to be associated with British identity. But Victoria's influence was not confined to her kingdom. Her reign saw the expansion of the British Empire, reaching far across the globe. From Canada to India, from Australia to Africa, Victoria's reign left a lasting imprint, shaping the history and culture of these nations. Today, Queen Victoria is remembered not just as a powerful monarch, but as a woman who stood her ground in a male-dominated world. Her iconic image, the black dress and white cap, has become a symbol of her resilience and strength. Her life story, filled with trials and tribulations, love and loss, continues to captivate audiences around the world. From the coins in our pockets bearing her profile, to the statues and monuments erected in her honor, to the myriad of books, films and television series about her life, Queen Victoria's legacy is all around us. She is not merely a figure of the past, but a presence that continues to shape our present. Queen Victoria, a woman of power and influence, continues to shape our world today over a century after her death. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos.